Wow. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin, certified nutrition specialist. And tonight we're talking to athletes and fitness professionals, talking about peak performance, nutrition. And our intention is to inspire you, educate you, and share with you some things you may not know. My motto is always each one teach one. If I'm blessed with information, then it becomes my duty to share. Now, what you do with the information, that's on you, right? But we're sharing some powerful information that I believe will benefit you all. And we have four panelists of professionals in the sports fitness industry. We did have a change in one of our panelists, so I want to just make that note that Brittany Haney is not here with us tonight, but Adetokunbo Faleti.
Faleti. Perfect.
Faleti.
Yeah,
okay.
It works.
I know. And I was like practicing.
And
I'm gonna have you say your beautiful name for us again. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have all of the panelists just give you a quick intro as to who they are, their background, and then we'll jump into the nuts and bolts of tonight. So I'm going to start with Kristin Finley. If you can share with us your name, your background, where you are, and your sport of choice, and how long you've been in this sports athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, hello, I'm happy to kick it off. So my name's Kristin Finley. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a wife to a retired fighter pilot, a mom to 3 boys, and I've been a lifelong athlete. I'm the daughter of a coach and grew up participating in all kinds of sports, but by junior high, my focus was really primarily on gymnastics. I went on to earn a full ride athletic scholarship to Oregon State University, and my last 2 years, we were a top 10 NCAA team. I majored in dietetics and completed a dietetic internship at Barnes Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri, before passing my registered dietitian exam. So I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. As an adult, I've continued to be active as a runner, a triathlete, a cyclist, and I've raised athletes. So our oldest son, Austin, will graduate college in 3 days and has been a 4-year lacrosse player. And Isaac is a junior in high school playing the same sport. In the last 5 years, I've begun working with more athletes and have taken a real big interest in athlete nutrition.
Awesome. And you, again, I'll reiterate that you are also a registered dietitian. So we'll come back to you because we're going to talk nutrition talk in a little bit. But Antoine Sidberry, where are you joining in from? And share with us your background.
Well, hello again. I'm Antoine Sidberry. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Me too. I a lifelong athlete. Started playing sports as a little petey pop. Pretty much played every sport on the planet. I thought I was going to be a basketball player. Went out to run track because I was fast and didn't realize how fast I was. So I ended up competing collegiately for 4 years at Barber Scotia College. I was a national competitor, the whole nine. Those things. And then right out of college, I went to the work world, but I also began to coach right away. So I've been coaching almost 20 years now, straight out of college.
Wow.
I'm currently a health and PE teacher in high school, and also coach collegiately at Johnson C. Smith University, track and field. Married to a beautiful wife, 15 years, 3 beautiful daughters. My oldest is a athlete as well. She competes at NC State. And my other 2, they just started school, the kindergarten and 1st grade. So started all the way over. I got a long way to go. And I'm the only man in the house. I got a female dog. I even got a female dog.
Oh, no. Do me this. Antoine, don't let me forget to ask you about the fact that you actually grow produce too, right? Because I want to make note of that because that's important. So we'll come back. Lisa Huseman Hale, can you hop on and share with us?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Lisa Hale. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I was swimming at the age of 4, got thrown into a pool, and I never stopped swimming. I love swimming. That was my sport. That was my single sport. And so now 39 years into being a fitness trainer, I love to cross train instead of being sports specific. So when I work with athletes, I make sure that I am making sure that I'm supporting, all limbs, muscles, and not just doing the sports specific that they do. And so I kind of learned that from me being just a swimmer. So I'm just a one sport athlete my whole life. Could have got a swimming scholarship to Iowa State. My mother said, "I don't trust you here in the house. The heck if you're going out of state." So she goes, you're going down the street to the school, and got a swimming scholarship there. So that was fine. And went into business, and then I retired at 48, and I opened up my own fitness boutique, and I've had my own gym for 9 years. And now I actually, last year, I just was asked for the PE. I guest PE teach at a high school out here. And because I work with the athletes and I did a performance camp last summer, they asked me to be an assistant girls wrestling coach.
Oh, wow.
I said to them, I know nothing about wrestling, right? And they're like, yes, but we need you to condition these kids. And so I was able to condition these kids like they've never seen before. So that was really cool.
Wow. I heard that. All right. So last but not least, Adetokunbo Faleti.
Awesome.
Girl, right? Or tell me.
Wow. Adetokunbo Faleti. Yes, you did a good job. You did a good job. Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be on this call. It's really important for us to talk about this. This is something that is really dear to my heart. But similar to the other panelists, I've been playing sports all of my life, from 3 to even now. Basketball, volleyball, track, did it all. I actually started playing soccer very, very young, and my dad was my coach. And so of course he was a little crazy, so I quit. So I started playing volleyball in high school, and I loved it. Went on to Washington State and played a Division I volleyball. And then because of not being able to play overseas, and my career ended with my knee injury, I ended up going back home, get my master's at Baylor in social work. And so I was a high school counselor for 5 years in Texas, and I moved to California, Southern California, just like 5 or 6 years ago. So right now I'm just coaching full time, and I love training kids. And this is really important for us to be doing this for our players.
Awesome. So I'm going to come back. So I'll ask you all some questions, but Kristin, I want to bring you back. We're going to talk nutrition for a little bit and set the stage for the rest of our conversation. But you had said something to me that I want to start with. What you said was, if I knew then what I know now. Can you, Kristin, where are you? Because I don't see me on the screen, but Kristin, where are you? Can you start with that?
Yeah, on my screen, I'm right next to you. So I'm not sure where I am on your screen, but yeah, if I knew what I know now, back when I was a young athlete, I'm convinced my college career and even my post-college endeavors would have been very different. So, I mean, here's the thing, as a college athlete, I was plagued with injuries. I had 4 knee surgeries, a shoulder surgery, a broken foot, shin splints, stress fractures in both legs, and a 5th knee surgery shortly after graduation. I ate ibuprofen like candy. I was anemic and fueled my body to see a certain number on the scale. So in my 40s, I looked fit on the outside, but I was starting to fall apart on the inside. I had chronic back and hip pain, trouble squatting down to get my pots and pans in and out of the cupboard, and walking up and down the stairs in my house had become a pretty big chore. I really chalked it up to being normal for the abuse that I'd put my body through all those years. But, this is what I've learned, and the message that I try to get out to every single athlete. Athletics is hard on the body, but proper nutrition is the armor the body needs to protect and prevent so many of the conditions that I've mentioned above, and that my athletes, my boys, have really been able to mostly avoid. What athletes need to understand really is that I lost my place a little bit, but what athletes really need to understand is that working out is really hard on the body. Proper nutrition, like I said, is the armor that is going to really help athletes to get through that. And so what athletes really need to understand is that because they work out, they have a higher metabolism. And because they have a higher metabolism, they create more metabolic waste. And if this metabolic waste isn't neutralized, the waste runs rogue in the body and it creates inflammation. And inflammation leads to injuries and illness that can impede performance and end seasons or even careers. So many athletes think of macros, carbs, protein, and fat when they think about proper nutrition, but micronutrition, the vitamins, the minerals, and perhaps most important, the phytonutrition rarely gets talked about.
Rarely.
So I'm hearing some amens out there, right?
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you that micronutrition is not only important, it's absolutely the secret sauce to optimizing performance. So macronutrition is the gasoline that sort of runs the body, but micronutrition really acts like the oil, very much like the oil in your car. And although the micronutrition doesn't run your body, it helps your body to run well. And without good micronutrition, the body will start to break down, and you're going to start to see those injuries and illness and inflammation, and because of the increase of metabolic waste that I was talking about.
So I'm going to interject because I want to stop you right there, because you said the micronutrition, and that's what we're going to focus on. So we're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to you because I want to explain for y'all are athletes or people listening, but the micronutrients is very much found in fruits and vegetables. And you all know that athletes are like, okay, yes, I'm eating my fruits and vegetables. What a lot of people don't recognize or understand is that the fruits and vegetables that you get out of the store, more likely than not, is not what you think you're getting, even if it's organic. And I mean it this way. When the produce is delivered, it's picked before it's ripened, and it sits in the store waiting for you. And so right then and there, when it's detached from its source before it's ripened, it's not full of the nutrients. And a lot of people don't know that we need, and y'all athletes need more than that. So 7 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every day, which just sounds absurd. We're going to talk about the one simple change that we have made that has made a significant difference from a cellular level. So listen to this, put it in your mind, and we'll talk in more detail, but I want you to hear the stories. So when you hear this, you're going to hear people mention Juice Plus. Juice Plus is whole food nutrition. It's 30 different raw, vine ripened fruits and vegetables turned into a powder. The pits, the peel, the seeds. So when you're eating an orange, you don't eat the orange peel, or a lemon. That's where a lot of the nutrition is. We're not making any claims. We're legit talking about fruits and vegetables. But imagine what would happen to you if every day you flooded your body with this high quality micronutrition. No pesticides. And I want you to know, even though we're talking about this fruits and vegetables in form of a capsule or a chewable, it is not, I repeat, not a supplement. And when I say that, if you look at whatever you have, because as athletes, you're taking supplements, people are taking multivitamins. If you look on the back of the label, it's going to say supplement fact. So what we are using is legit food, nutrition facts. That's what's going to be on the label. I'll stop it right there. We're going to hear the stories and we'll come back. So Antoine, I want to bring you in. And my first question is, how did you hear about these plant powders? Why do you take them, and what has been your experience?
Okay. Well, I was Ubering. I was Ubering to make a little bit of side money, but I picked up Leanne Gordon from the airport. And we was taking her to, there's a convention down here in Charlotte. I was taking her, it was about a 35-minute ride from the airport to the hotel. And we just got to talking, and I talk a lot. So you might want to, you can put the pause on me. I won't get offended, okay? Because I can talk.
Okay, so well, keep it to 3 minutes, right? So we can make sure everybody gets in there, but yeah.
So, but anywho, so I was talking about myself and the things that I did. I'm a health and PE teacher. I'm really into nutrition. I do some personal training on the side. I'm all the different things. and I'm a track coach, and she basically said, "Hey, I have something that you might be interested in. Come tonight." And she kind of told me a little bit about it, not much. Said, "Come tonight." So I went Friday. I went that night, and it made immediate sense to me because I was already in that mindset already. So, and for me, I grew up. I wasn't a vegetable eater. I was the kid that sat at the table, put everything in the napkin, hid it from my parents, threw it in the toilet, on my way to bed. So I definitely wasn't a vegetable eater, but I understood already, the power of good nutrition. And so what ended up happening was right before I met Leanne, now I want to paint a picture for everybody. I am fit, okay? I run consistently. I work out religiously. So I'm in shape. I'm pretty fit. But I went to the doctor for my yearly, and I got a bad report about my liver. I'm like, what? Excuse me? What? My liver? Like, how do I have anything wrong inside my body? I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat pork. I don't eat beef. I thought I ate pretty well, right? So I got that report, and then I met, Leanne the following week. But then when I got the actual blood work back, in the recommendations was to go to the Mediterranean diet, which is full of whole foods. They do allow meat and all those different things. But again, like I said, I really don't eat beef and pork and those different things. So I'm like, well, I just don't. At that point, I knew that I didn't eat. I knew why. It's like I'm eating, but I'm eating a lot of breads, I'm eating a lot of pastas, a lot of sauces, all these different things. I'm not getting the nutrition in from the fruits and vegetables. And the problem was the stuff that we were eating, I was eating the same thing over and over and over. So one thing, I actually just finished teaching in my nutrition unit in my health class. And one thing, the last part we do is we create our own plate, and I call them Eat the Rainbow. And I have them create a plate with rainbow, and they actually I make my children break down all the colors. So they have to do research to figure out what the colors do in the body. And that is the difference, like that Juice Plus has made in my life. So I know I'm running on time. So just fast forward, I was 220 pounds right before I started taking Juice Plus, working out, again, still working out, doing my regular. And within 3 months, I went from 220 to 184. This year, I went back to my yearly, got my yearly exam, roughly almost a year to the date. Get the one that you want, please. A year to the date after meeting Leanne, and my liver counts were completely normal, completely healthy. They got me off of the liver watch list, I guess is what they called it, for liver disease.
Wow.
My wife was pre-diabetic about the same time. She did her yearly next year. She's out of the pre-diabetic phase. She looked good, I'll tell you that. She lost a lot of weight, so for that thing. And the last thing I'm gonna add to this is I had a long relationship with Little Debbie. We've been dating for a long time. But taking the Juice Plus really curved my sugar craving. So me and Little Debbie broke up. And now I still, we still go on dates every once in a while, but it's not like, like it used to be, seriously. So I'm gonna stop myself because I can keep going.
Got it. And if we have any more time, I'll come back. We'll talk about growing the fruits and vegetables. But so what I want to reiterate again is this: we're literally flooding our bodies with a whole bunch of produce in a capsule, and we make no health claims. Your body knows what to do with the nutrition that it's given. It's just in this world, we're not given that quality and quantity of nutrients. So let me have Lisa Hale share your story of how you heard about this, how it's impacted your life, and why you recommend it.
Sure. So I grew up actually packing pasta before swim meets and competitions, for carbs, because, you didn't know anything else. And then always grew up on multivitamins. Dad had cholesterol and back in the 70s. And so we were taking the vitamin E. We always took vitamin C, got on my own. I did literally 25 years of GNC supplements. I was up to 11 GNC supplements when somebody came in and said to me, "Oh, you're an athlete and you teach fitness. I bet you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables." And I said, "Well, I buy them and then I throw them away. So it's the middle part of eating them that I have a problem with." And I was a picky eater as a kid and hated vegetables. And so So she said, would you like to try it? It comes in a 4-month supply. Your blood recycles for the 120 days. And, I said, okay. I said, well, I know again, just like everybody else says, athletes can be fit on the outside, but you don't know what's going on the inside. A skinny person can have terrible blood work, or a fit person can have terrible blood work. So my blood work kind of looked like my parents. And the doctor said, you're probably going that path. And I thought, I worked too hard, to go that path. So I figured something else had to be something. And so when somebody told me about Juice Plus, I said, all right, I'll take it for 4 months. I said, don't call me, don't talk to me, don't bug me, don't invite me to anything. I don't want to deal with it. I said, I will know, because I know how I sleep, digest, pee, poop, perform, recover, repair. Okay. I knew everything about my body. So I literally put my supplements aside that all had supplement facts. And I started taking the capsules that had nutrition facts, and the ingredients literally are apples, peaches, broccoli, spinach, kale. I mean, that's the ingredients. And I thought, all right, I'll put this stuff to work and see what it does. I really didn't have ailments, or I wasn't unhealthy. My blood work didn't look the best, but I thought, let me see what this does. And I was a constipated disaster my whole life. I think I got on whey products and just all these supplements that never did anything besides expensive urine. And the Juice Plus just started kicking in. And then people started saying to me, and I mean, I told her, she goes, sometimes it gives people energy. Some people it does. I said, oh my God, if I have any more energy, I'm going to be obnoxious. And so I'm obnoxious now. So I thought, wow, can I get more energy? This is going to be pretty cool. It's sustainable energy. That's the nice part, not the peaks and valleys. So sustainable energy, because I would work 12 hours a day and then go teach class. And but what happened is my members in my class were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing? They're like, we can't keep up with you anymore. And I was 40 years old at that time. I'll be 58 this year. So this was 18 years ago. I heard about Juice Plus 18 years ago. And I said, why? And they're like, we can't keep up with you. And what's this muscle definition in your back and your shoulders? What's going on? I'm like, you don't see yourself in the back. I'm like, what is it? They're like, you're like shredding. And I'm like, I've been lifting weights since high school and I've never shredded. I said, are you kidding me? And they're like, no. They're like, what are you doing? I said, I guess it's this Juice Plus stuff. Well, where can we get it from? And I said, I signed up as a partner. I signed up as a partner.
I want to hold that thought. When
Okay.
You said, where do you get it from? I'm gonna stop you right there. Is that okay?
Okay.
Because I want to say this, because people, they have their phones, they're saying Juice Plus, they're gonna type it in and try to, go on Amazon or figure that out. So I'm gonna hold you right there, and we're gonna get to our other two. Whoever invited y'all here, that's who you need to talk to about getting more information, because they have information. They have special information that no one else can see. Whoever invited you here, that's who you need to talk to. And I will say this to you because I just know this. If you go and look up Juice Plus, Google it. I'll just put it out there. If you go on Amazon, it's like $1 million on Amazon. That is not the real pricing. It is double what it's supposed to be, because they're not authorized sellers and they have marked it up tremendously. So I want y'all to know that before people are just out there Googling. I repeat, whoever invited you here is who you should contact, because they got the goods. And also, if you have a child, your child can receive the Juice Plus chewables for free. That's important. And that has to be done through the person that invited you here. So Lisa, I'm gonna come back to you because I'm gonna get to the other two folks, and then we'll be able to wrap it up and of course go into the after party. But Adetokunbo Faleti.
Love it. Love it.
Yes, yes. So yes, share with us your story. And you inspired me with a couple of things that you said of how you approached it. And they're like, yes, come back to Lisa. They want Lisa to come back. So we want to make sure everybody gets there. So Coach TK.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, similar to these guys, as athletes, we think we know the good stuff. We think we know what we should be eating. And for the most part, we do, but we still aren't eating enough, right? And I know growing up, my household was very much, I was health conscious. My family was very health conscious. We, for the most part, ate well. But when I got to college, I found out I was anemic. That's where it started. And then also my senior year, I blew my knee out, and that's when my career ended. And so the doctor basically told me, he said, listen, you're not gonna be able to play any sports professionally, competitively ever again. Like, even if you want to play for leisure, you're pretty much done. And I was like, okay, okay, we're gonna have to shift how I function. And I've always wanted to be active still. So, you know, I was still active years later. I was still working out. I was still taking care of my body for the most part. And I was trying all the things I can try, like, all, you know, echinacea, CMOS, everything I can try naturally to help with my inflammation in my knee. But I would work out. My knee would be swollen for days, take me out of commission for a week. I would, you know, work and then coach, and I'd be swollen for 3 or 4 days. I mean, I could never do what I wanted to do. Like, I just like a prisoner in my own body, you know, just not be able to do what I wanted. I couldn't do full squats, couldn't do full lunges, couldn't do jumping exercises. I mean, I just didn't have the ability to do what my body wanted to do, wanted to push. So for a decade, you know, from college until a couple of years ago, I was just living in pain, just living in flame, living in pain, up and down the stairs, pain. I mean, that's just what, similar to what Kristin said, just always in pain, masked it very well, but never really felt good. And I thought I ate pretty well. You know, I was eating fruits, vegetables, I was eating bananas and apples and oranges, but I wasn't getting a variety by any means. And my friend Brittany was like, hey, you know, we coached together. I knew her very well. I trusted her. And she's like, hey, I have this product I'm going to start selling. It's really incredible. It's called Juice Plus. And it's just fruits and vegetables. It's whole foods. It's in powder form. And I was like, okay, like perfect timing, because I'm frustrated. You know, it was a decade at that point from doctor told me I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And I got my knee drained several times throughout that decade. And I was like, I need to change something. It's going to help. Let me just try it. So I did. And I got on the fruits and vegetables, the fruit and veggie capsules first for the first year. And I found out that there's more. I was like, okay. So in 2020, which basically was last year, I added on the omegas and the berries. And that's when everything changed for me. That's when everything changed. I mean, the first year I felt energy, I felt my sleep was better. And so it was noticeable that things were happening in my body that were great. But in 2020, when I added in the omegas and the berries, about 3 months later, I noticed that I was not in pain going up and down the stairs. I could coach for 8 hours and I wouldn't be swollen at night. And I was like, nothing's different besides these omegas and berries and then everything else I'm doing too. So adding more plants. And so I realized this is incredible. So now I can do what I can do now, I can do a decade ago. I mean, this is pre-college. When I do a squat, my butt hits the floor. That hasn't happened in 12 plus years. So for me, the joint health has been absolutely astounding. And so for that reason, I was like, my athletes didn't know about this. They have to know how to take care of their bodies, how to recover better, prevent inflammation. And so I have to share this to everybody that I know, because it's just something they have to have.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're gonna unofficially end with Kristin, but I like when you said everybody has to know. It's like we have something, and how dare us keep it a secret. And I would say to people, as you hear this information, because when I heard it, I was like, yeah, right. Fruits and vegetables in the capsule. Yeah, right. What are they going to come up with next? And I always say to y'all, try it for 4 months, and then you can make that decision or that assessment. And someone asked why 120 days? Because we know that from a research and from blood work that things change in that amount of time. So Kristin, take us home. Share us your story.
My Juice Plus story. So about 6 years ago, I was introduced to Juice Plus, fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And although I'd like to say I was on board right away, that wasn't the case. As a dietitian, I was trained that everything the body needed could be found in the food you ate. And although this, you know, in hindsight, this may be the case, but here's the thing. Not many of us are getting all the right foods every day, and almost nobody is getting the adequate number of fruits and vegetables in their diet every day. The CDC actually reports that 10% of us are eating enough. And I would probably beg to say that of those 10% that are getting enough, most of them are not getting the variety that they need. So the current recommendation, like you said before, Robin, is 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables per day if we have normal metabolism and no chronic health conditions. Athletes and those with health conditions need more. Why? because these populations have more metabolic waste and free radical damage and have more inflammation, and therefore they need more phytonutrition to neutralize this waste. So despite my skepticism, I couldn't help but think how my body would react to getting 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries in it every single day. And because the product was backed by 40 double-blind, placebo-controlled, peer-reviewed studies, I finally decided to hand over my credit card. So it's important to note that that whole first year, I took Juice Plus. It was the only change I made. I knew if I made a bunch of changes and had results, I wouldn't know where the results came from. So within a few months, I noticed that my energy was a little better. My hair and nails began to grow more robustly and my skin texture improved. And within that first year, my back and hip pain was resolved. I was squatting down, like has been said before, I was squatting down to get into my cupboards. I was walking up the stairs with no problem. I noticed my athletic recovery was improving. So at 49, I was riding my bike 60 plus miles per day, multiple days a week, and often back to back, going every day. And I was ready to go day after day after day. I also noticed better weight maintenance. So I know now that that's a side effect of improved ability of my body to eliminate toxins. That's a whole nother talk that I do, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but just know that. I think that was mentioned by Antoine too. In addition to the improved performance and recovery, I had a few things that happened that were totally unexpected. For years, I'd taken eye drops, nasal spray, and a pill every day for allergies. I no longer needed them. In addition, I've had an autoimmune disease since I was 6, and that was under control. I'd never gone a day in 43 years without medication, and today that condition is under the best control that it's ever been. So this may seem like amazing results, but if you can reduce inflammation, which is what Juice Plus can do, does the same thing that fruits and vegetables do in your diet, decrease inflammation, you can gain better control of conditions that are rooted in inflammation. And today at almost 54, I can honestly say I'm in better health than I was in my 20s. I feel great. I've implemented other dietary changes with a program that we call the Shred that I help people go through every month. And I wish I would have had Juice Plus 30 years ago. I know it would have made a difference. And what I want every athlete to know, I want you to have hope that you can work hard, you can work out hard every day if you make sure your body is getting the fuel it needs to recover properly. We often call them overuse injuries. They're really under recovery issues is what you're having. Juice Plus has become a tool that allows my body to do just that. And I honestly won't go a day without it. So regardless of whether you you decide to try Juice Plus or not, if you're looking to start anywhere, I encourage you to start by thinking about getting more fruits and vegetables in your diet every single day.
Thank you. Let me say this as we wrap up. Look, y'all, all of you all that are listening, let me tell you this. Well, I'll say this. Contact the person that invited you here right away. Don't overthink it. Just email them, text them, whatever you have to do. And I would say to you, what if? What if you start flooding your body with this whole food nutrition and something happens at a cellular level, from a blood work level? We're talking, people are saying about their blood work. This is not made up. There are more than 39 studies. I think we're up to 40, 41 studies on this fruits and vegetables. Very, very powerful. I would tell you as a nutritionist, I was like, every time somebody comes to me with a product, this product, that product, and I'm like, don't tell me about another product. And it wasn't until my mother had a very powerful experience that I said, this is legit. This is really, really legit. And so Antoine, we're going to talk about your tower in just a second, but I just say to contact the person that invited you here and just get more information. We also grow produce, right? So we are farmers too, y'all. And so Antoine, can you share with us just real quick before I cut the recording off, what you're growing in your house?
So I moved it. I'm trying to flip my camera around. We had a real bad storm. So I moved it into my garage until the storm passed, but I have Swiss chard. Look how big this leaf is.
Wow.
This is Swiss chard. mixed greens. This is a tomato plant that's growing. The storm actually broke my other tomato plant, so I'm a little upset about that. There's some mint down here, some mint there. This is, I got a cucumber growing. I got a watermelon growing. Trying to do it really, really fast. My original. So I've had this for a little bit over a year.
Wow.
And where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. This kale here. This is my first plant that I planted over a year ago.
And it's still wow.
And
Still
I'm still eating off of it. So just when we're talking about produce, and I share it because it's too much for us to eat. So I do share it with people, and I shared it with my coworkers, and she took it and she had it sitting in her office for 2 days in the refrigerator. So she had about 3 days. And she told me the other day she ate it and it was so fresh.
Exactly.
And the other day, my wife went and got a Zaxby salad for both of us. She got it Monday night. We ate it on Tuesday. It was already brown.
Right. Yeah.
It was in the refrigerator. It was already brown. So when we're talking about that freshness, there's nothing like, I'm telling you, listen, the stuff on here, when you eat it, it tastes like, my daughter says it tastes like the earth. Like it's so, you can feel, you can taste, you can really feel the nutrients in it. And then there's some regular lettuce. So we decided just regular lettuce growing. So we decided to just take our health to another level, not just taking the Juice Plus capsules, but actually growing our own produce. And then my children, my 3 and 5-year-old, they come and eat off of it. They grab it. Daddy, can you put some ranch on this? And they eat it right off the tower. So like they, just for the health of our family and my little ones eating, they you ask them for what snack do they want, and they go say, I want carrots and some ranch dressing, or those are the snacks that they ask for. Every once in a while they ask for something sweet or a kid treat, but for the most part, they take salad. They get a salad twice a week for school, and their teacher like, y'all eat salad? The other kids have sandwiches and hot dogs, and like, y'all eating salad? And they eat all of it.
Thank you.
every day.
So I want to say this, we grow produce too, y'all. We take them in capsule, we take it to another level. We are legit all about getting this produce in our bodies because we know how powerful it is. And so if you even want to know more about that, contact the person that invited you here so that they can share with you how you too can get the produce in your body in capsules, as well as starting to grow. You can grow indoors or outdoors. So Antoine is growing inside. If you're in cold climate, if you're in hot climate, you can go inside. I'm in California, I grow outside. So with that being said, before I officially cut the recording off, I want to say, please contact the person that invited you here. This is Robin, Certified Nutrition Specialist. I'm going to stop the recording and the after party will begin.